Yo, what's going on guys? Arekkz here. Welcome back to another video for Monster Hunter Rise. And in this one, I want to go over a few more things that have been updated on the official website now that we have had that new trailer, which again, is fantastic. If you guys missed it, then definitely check out our breakdown the other day. And of course, if you haven't seen the look at the brand new armor skills, also take a look at that.
That's a 10.
But in this video, I want to go over 6 things that we now know about the game. So if you guys do enjoy this, a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below, let me know what you guys are most looking forward to. And let's kick things off with number 1, and that is that the Apex monsters are different to what we expected. A lot of people kind of, especially if you saw the English trailer, when everybody sees Apex, they immediately think this goes back to 4 Ultimate and that this means the return of Gormagala. Now obviously until we see the full roster of monsters, we don't know whether Gormagala is not coming back, but it is important to note that this use of the term Apex doesn't appear to be the same as it was in 4 Ultimate. The reason for that is because in Japanese they use a different word, a new word that hasn't been used before. Same thing goes for in I believe Portuguese and a few other languages as well. They use words like superior or alpha. So basically what this is supposed to signify is just a stronger version of that monster. So it is not the traditional Apex series a la kind of Gormagala's influence has, augmented these beasts. It is more so just a strong version of the monster. And of course, if you take a look at the Rampage section of the trailer, it, makes a lot more sense because, if you interpret this in the way that I have, then obviously it's probably a case of you fight waves of monsters or you fight, a number of monsters, and upon defeating those, the Apex or the Alpha or the Superior or the big boy, basically, the final boss will drop in, and that will be the final thing you defeat. And of course, upon defeating that, that probably brings that Rampage to a close. That's how I imagine it's going to work. So it's just kind of important to clarify that, while I still would 100% love Gormagala to come back, it is worth noting, if you've seen the English trailer, the Apex wording, the Apex terminology here is not quite the same. So just keep that in mind. That being said, we do know that Magnamalo has some kind of hellfire around it, so maybe there is some sort of story implication on that front. It's just going to be different. Moving on from there to the Mustachioed Monster Almudron, one of the new monsters. To add a little bit more context to this, we want to kind of quote the official description because this is the details we have on the monster so far. It says that this creature usually keeps itself deep in the mountains, but recently it's been approaching human habitation and attacking hunters, perhaps because of the Rampage. It's adept at using mud to attack and even defends itself by sticking it on its body. From its tail oozes a strange golden fluid, which it uses to dissolve the ground beneath its prey, arresting them in a mire so that it can drag them under. So that's basically the description. Obviously, when we see it in gameplay, you can see it also has the ability to kind of raise up these muddy walls. It looks fantastic. It basically looks like a muddy version of Mizutsune. I love it. It's really cool, and definitely cannot wait to fight this guy. Moving on from there, we then of course have details on Rakna Kadaki, who is of course the spider. It says this creature's body is covered in webbing, as if it's wearing a white gown. It uses its webs to stop hunters in their tracks, which we saw in the gameplay, and this of course happens before attacking them with burning gas. It is always seen carrying its offspring with it, known as Arachnoid. These little creatures provide their mother with support in moving around and catching prey. Be very careful of their combined attacks. So it sounds like, obviously, when you see the way that it throws out the Arachnoid during the battle, of course, if you get caught by those, then you're going to be stuck. It's funny because I'm seeing the description for this monster, and just yesterday, I'm rewatching Naruto by the way, just yesterday was the fight against Kidomaru and Neji, so of course I'm basically just sort of reading about a spider monster whilst having just seen the spider encounter between those two. Random fact. Anyway, that aside, moving on from there, of course we have 2 new locations recently shown off in the trailer. The Lava Caverns is a brand new area. This large cave system is divided into a searing hot area with flowing lava and a nice cool area with beautifully pure water. It would be a wonderfully mystical environment if it wasn't teeming with monsters. Now this is really cool. I do love what they've been doing recently with the sort of contrasting environments. This looks incredibly cool. And if you take a look at one of the screenshots on the website, there is this fantastic looking skeleton hanging from the ceiling. Honestly, if you look at it kind of skeletal wise, it is pretty big, but the head definitely kind of rings of Mizutsune. It's a bit big to be a Mizutsune, so honestly not entirely sure what it is, but either way, that's kind of cool. As for the Sandy Plains, this appears to be the returning map. I actually kind of completely forgot this. You know what? Desert maps have always just been a void in my memory. I remember tundra maps, I remember forest maps. Desert maps just seem to kind of fade out of existence. But anyway, Sandy Plains, the description for this one is a desolate wasteland filled with aggressive monsters that hunger for flesh and blood. During the day, the sun beats down on the plains mercilessly, but at night, it's lit up by the cool moonlight. Obviously, we know that hot drinks and, by extension, cold drinks will not be needed, so at least we know we can explore the desert without having to worry about burning up or freezing. And then finally, in number 6, just a few more details on the Rampage from the official website. It says the Rampage is a catastrophic event where countless monsters attack the village all at once. People have lived in fear of it since ancient times, but nobody knows why it occurs. Komuro has fallen victim to this phenomenon numerous times, and especially the Rampage that happened 50 years ago came close to wiping out the entire village. Hunters are of course tasked with taking on hordes of monsters using their weapons, hunting installations, which of course we see are some of the kind of traditional ones, cannons, ballista, dragonator, but also some new items, and the wyvern riding feature to prevent them from breaking through. However, on top of that, we saw at the very end of the trailer that Hinoa and Minato joined the fray, but we also saw from the trailer, we see kind of like the little, the chef lady wielding a massive bowgun. So it does kind of suggest that maybe some of the other NPCs are potentially going to be able to help us out. I'm just really hoping that Hojo is there because I want him to ride into battle down one of those lanes on his tiny Tetsu. That's going to be hilarious. But either way, that's a little rundown of some of the additional information that was on the website. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to keep it locked. We got an announcement today, by the way, that there is some more stuff coming for Monster Hunter, some more events at the beginning of March where they'll basically be showing off different things. And there's 3 different dates there. Plus it also includes the Monster Hunter Stories logo, so expect some more updates on stories. So fair to say, there's some cool stuff to look forward to. But for the time being, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. If you want to catch more from us at Arekkz Gaming, don't forget you can catch the guys 269, Paradise Central and Investmore streaming over on Twitch weekdays, playing a variety of games. If you guys want to jump in, tune in, watch and even join in, then make sure you check them out. The links to those are in the description box down below, and of course you can join the Discord to get involved in all of the discussions.